Okay, ladies and gents, I'm just holding the camera right now. Okay, so what happened, if you're watching the last segment, the drive gear coming from the, behind all this now. So the thrust washer behind the drive gear got loose, and so it wasn't allowing the drive gear to seat all the way. So I looked up on a forum, the guy was having the issue. Right as soon as I saw that, there was just a snap ring. I pulled that gear off. I would have filmed it, but man, guys, I was just about to call it quits. I thought the trans shop had installed the wrong size bushing or blah, blah, blah. So I basically got that thrust washer put in, got the gear on, put the chain, it just went all the way back together, all the way to the point where I was, and it seated perfectly. I ran the bolts in. All of them are pretty much hand tight. Even the pump here, pump housing, is just kind of, I got like 3 basically tight, not torqued at all, but just snug to where the gasket isn't moving. I got bolts in everywhere. These are going to be real questionable. These, of course, are replacements. I somehow lost one of them. And then this is the one that I had to grind off. This one in particular was here, but since this hangs way over, I should have located it. It's kind of a weird bolt. It's a thicker bolt size with a small head. So what I'm going to do is clean up the side cover. Once I get everything torqued, I'm going to clean up the side cover and just do some test fits, make sure these don't poke up. But I have lots more to do. I'm going to take a short break, and really glad that this is on there. I would have changed this, but the part was wrong that they gave me, so I'm not going to mess with that. It wasn't, actively leaking. It was just a preventative maintenance. So anyways, like I said, I got plenty more to do. We're gonna I just wanted to explain what happened. Watch out for the thrust washer behind the drive gear, and luckily I didn't break it trying to figure out what was going on. Over and out. Okay, ladies and gents, we're gonna do some cleaning, parts cleaning. Of course, this is the pan. I haven't cleaned it yet. Loads of material there. There's actually some deposits here in the pan, and that's actually right underneath where that spline kind of goes into that sun gear. So the remains of the spline are there. Just got our new engine and trans mounts, and then we'll be cleaning this thing up and test fitting those bolts I was talking about. There's actually recesses for the, up here, down, and 6 o'clock, and I guess, what would that be, 3 o'clock and 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock and 1 o'clock. Anyhow, gotta get that cleaned up. Let's head on over to our rig here. Alright, so unfortunately, pretty sure I'm going to post in the videos I had done of me putting everything behind the channel plate together, the clutches, and then I had the issue where the basically the thrust washer behind the drive gear was totally giving me trouble. It had slipped out, and let me see here, guys, just trying to get a little bit better view here. So what we're gonna do is let me make sure. Yeah, I was filming and the stupid thing was filming vertically. So sorry about that, everybody. Did not mean to do that. Okay, so now that we're kind of set up, the first thing we need to do is install this electronic pressure control solenoid. This was recommended to replace while I was in here. You could replace all of them if you wanted. This is I think this is the pressure sensing module, whatever that is. I think this is the two shifter ones. I think this might be the torque converter clutch. This is electronic pressure control. This is the shaft speed indicator. I'm guessing that computes, I don't know, actually telling the computer how fast the input shaft is spinning. Another solenoid there. This is the sensor of the fluid. So, without further ado here, I tend to get distracted that I'm filming and explaining stuff. So, first thing I actually have to do, I went around and torqued down all my bolts. Most of the smaller ones, I guess it would be the 6mm bolts, are torqued about 106 inch-pounds. So I kind of did that with all of them. These other bolts, the 8mm by 125, they call for 18 foot-pounds. So that'd be this one here, this one, and this one. So I'm gonna crank those up. I'm gonna get those torqued, kind of mentally run some checks on everything, make sure I've got everything hooked up. This EPC, I was confused as to which solenoid it was. I was able to look up some diagrams. This one here, I don't know if you can kind of see it. You can find that if you look up images for the EPC on a 4T65E. I don't know if you can see it here. Basically, there's the EPC solenoid, and it has it basically second down. It's really not the best drawing. The top solenoid here is 1-2 shift. The bottom one is EPC. Below that is the input speed sensor. Below that is the torque converter clutch solenoid. Let me get this cranked up a little bit here. So you got your 1-2 shift, your electronic pressure control, input speed shaft sensor, torque converter clutch solenoid, and then temperature sensor. And on the other side here, you've got your 2-3 shift solenoid, and then they call this the pressure switch assembly. So there you have it. I reinstalled the parking pole back behind here. It just bolts right up. I need to get a little bit better, what you would call it. Alright, let me just use this here. I'm going to show you this real quick. Okay. Okay, of course, so this here, put that back on, it's torqued down. It's riding in the shift pawl. I got the rod hooked up back here. Oops. This rod, can't really see anything, and I'm getting cramps. My feet, ouch. Anyways, guys, so any questions at all? I mean, there's tons of videos out. I'm trying to do my best to really show, kind of what I'm working on, but at the same time, man, I can get really bogged down and not actually get anything done because I'm trying to film. So, I'm trying to do a balance here. Okay, so as far as we know, this solenoid here, move this up out of the way here. This is our EPC, and sorry guys, my filming stuff is very, very ghetto, I would say. Okay, so let's get this clip out here. I've had this out a bunch of times, but I just wanted to be sure. Okay, there you go. Now these solenoids are probably all different enough to where they wouldn't even fit. But I am going to go ahead and just kind of look to see pretty much the same bore. This one went in pretty much one way. This one looks like it's a here's our new one here. Same connector, although they're in different spots. As you can see, same connector. So we'll all put the old in with the new. Let's put a teeny bit of goo on it just to kind of help everything out here. rag. Oops. Can't wait to get this thing closed back up. Alright, so, got hairs all over it, Lord. Alright, now, it looks like it's pretty much universal as far as fitment, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that bad boy in there. Obviously, make sure, whoops, ouch. Make sure everything's fully seated. I can't wait to get done with this. I'm working on the ground here. Alright. That's good there. That one's in. This one's in. That one's in. This one I never did anything with. This one I took in and out. I do have that torqued. Okay. I think we're good there. We're gonna put this old one in the bag, put her in the box, and yeah, in fact, the camera is actually in the spot that I need to be in. Alright, let me get this thing closed up here. This over here, that over here. This one I can get rid of. Okay, solenoids, got that. Boom, got that. Got that. Let me do some more torquing here. Okay, so 18 foot-pounds. I got an inch-pound torque wrench. So 18 foot-pounds. I want to times it by 12, so I'm going to times it by 10 first. That's 180 plus another 24, right? So 180, that's 204. Luckily, this one goes up to that. Now, be really careful. Of course, I've got different bolts. I don't want to stress that cover out at all. You really just want to feel it too, because sometimes your torque wrench could be off. You don't want to just be expecting a click to come and just strip something out. You're really cognizant, you know, so you're not just going on and on, you know, not really trusting your arm torque wrench, you know what I'm saying? You know when you're getting past a certain point, you're like, what's going on? And snap. Snap, crackle, pop. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm kind of tidying up a little bit. Okay. So I got it up to 204. I got my 13 mil here. And this one. Right, it's not that far away, so it's good. There's that. Alright, I've already got these pretty tight. This one's the concerning one. Okay, so tight, 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 tight. Yeah. Basically, guys, these mechanical things, they want to work, you know. A lot of times you slap them together, it'll work fine. You don't really need to be so crazy finicky, but as you guys know, these transmissions can be in the butt sometimes. I'm gonna go back down to 106. I'm just gonna kind of go around, make sure I didn't forget any stragglers. Got time for some new sockets. See, that one had to kind of come down a little bit. What's wrong with that? Okay. Now there's one behind here. They already did. There's one there that I already did. I'm just gonna trust it. I did all this last night. By the way, as everything's feeling, probably could be worth just a quick double check, but I can just grab a wrench instead of taking that off. All right, let me switch to the 8. Remember, a lot of times your torque is just directly related to the size of the bolt. You know, you're not gonna be able to put more torque on a bolt, you know, that can't take it, right? All right, guys, we're looking good. I'm overkilling it to the max here. I just want to make sure that this little girl stays quiet. She don't put up a fight. Sounds a little messed up. All right. Okay, there's that. Okay, we are torqued, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna get a little bit of air out in this whole situation here. Just everything is so dry and kind of. Let me kind of. All right, that'll do. That'll do for that. Now, let's go ahead and get her plugged in here. That's the type of stuff that I like, where I'm actually getting somewhere. Okay, this one's gonna swing around there. This is gonna go down here. Remember, of course, keep your harnesses kind of out of the way of any, you know, you'll be able to tell. Just, I might have that loop under. In fact, let's get this over here first. All right, boom. We're gonna let this one kind of come over to where it wants. Where are we at here? We're gonna do it right there. A lot of times you can tell where stuff sat before, just how the, you can tell by the marks that it leaves behind and everything. Okay, that can kind of wedge right there. This is good to go. I'm gonna put this. Ooh, that's toughy. Alright, put that there. In. This one's gonna swing around and just come right down here. It's gonna clip right on there. It said it wants to go home. Sorry for my reach here. Okay, we're gonna pull this up a little bit so it's not hanging down so far there. I'm gonna have to watch that when I put the cover on. I don't like how that hangs out as much, but not much you can do there. I'm pulling up the harness, but it's just making it come out more. Okay, you just want to make sure you're in good, you know, you're inside there and everything. So let me just do a double check here. I've got everything behind the channel plate hooked up. Got both my oil dams back in place. This one I want to still kind of lock a little further. I got my parking pawl torqued, good to go. I got the rod hooked back up. Everything's connected. Like I said, I was going to replace the seal, but I got the wrong one, so it's not leaking at this time. So I'm ready for the front cover. So I'm going to stop the video, clean up the cover. I'm going to test fit it, make sure it doesn't bump into these bad boys. And then, which they're quite a bit bigger than those 10s, so we'll see. And then, last but not least, I need to flush these cooler lines, which I'll probably do that once. I guess I should do it right away, because after the side cover's on, then it's getting the engine back installed to this subframe. Lower this, or raise the subframe back up to its normal position, normal-ish, because I have the front of it, you know, kind of nose down for the cylinder head. So, anyways, lots to do, and I'm gonna stop the video here. Over and out to the next segment. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Got the side cover cleaned up. I did a couple test fits. I've got plenty of clearance between my bolts here. I did have to reroute this harness a little bit behind the 1-2 shift solenoid instead of in front of it. We are just about ready to go back together here, but I think what I'm going to do is switch to a time lapse here in this next segment. That way you guys don't have to just watch me fumble and bumble around getting this gasket installed. But we are one step closer here to project Chevy Venture getting finished, at least the transmission part of it. Once we get the side cover on, then we can go ahead and mount the engine and transmission back into the subframe, and then we could basically you know, either get right back to the cylinder heads, or I'll probably end up raising up the subframe enough to get the steering shaft back in, probably run a couple of bolts up through the subframe. The front of it needs to be down to do the heads, but I'd like to have this, you know, this side at least buttoned up a good amount. That way I don't have to come back to it once I get everything else going. Anyways, it's a process, as y'all know. So I'm going to switch to a time lapse, and let's get this thing on. Okay, ladies and gents, we just got the transmission filter and pan back on. We are ready to mount up this plate over here, and then probably before we put the mount on, we're going to change out that engine side one. That way we can have maximum maneuverability to get that other one out. So what we're gonna do is, I just wanted to do a quick little update. We're gonna go ahead and do a time lapse again, and probably just go ahead and get both of these mounts installed, and then we'll probably have to wrap it up for the day. So anyways, here we go.